Whenever you're ready.
Alright, so I'm assuming you guys all came through this door by opening that doorknob over there. Well, according to Cha, they estimate that 2.7 billion bacteria cells are on that doorknob itself. So, with that said, prokaryotes, which are unicellular organisms, which are bacteria and germs, which cause there's some are pathogens and some are cancer-causing bacteria. They actually make up 10 times the biomass of eukaryotes, which are multicellular organisms like us, dogs and stuff like that. So germs and bacteria are all around us. You can't avoid them. They're on your desks, they're on your hands when you eat, they're on plates when you eat. So you can't avoid them. So what can you do? You can protect yourself from it by getting the vaccination or the flu shot. Everyone here has been sick once or a few times in their life, and I could bet my paycheck that I'll get on Friday that you guys hate being sick, right? But if you guys get the vaccination, you guys will have a good sense of mind, and you guys won't catch the virus that's going around, and will be protected with the immunity that the vaccination provides. Well, today I'm going to persuade you guys that getting the vaccination will not only protect you guys from getting sick or obtaining any type of disease, but also safeguarding those around you and protect them from getting sick as well. Here's a quote by NHS Choice: "Vaccinations is one of the great breakthroughs in modern medicine. No other medical intervention has done more to save lives and improve quality of life." So today, with that said, I will converse about how vaccinations are made and their functions, the statistics that show the decreasing numbers of disease and viruses of those who took the vaccinations, and lastly, why you should get the vaccination. What protects our bodies from these infections and viruses that microbes cause? Well, everyone has an immune system. An immune system is basically our defense mechanism against those viruses that are in our bodies. We have two types of white blood cells, which are the cells that fight against those foreign microbes and viruses. We have the T cells, which are critical immune system, cells that destroy infected cells and coordinate the overall immune response, while B cells, they make antibodies. The Center of Disease Control defines antibodies as blood protein produced in response to the counteracting a specific virus. Antibodies combine chemically with substances that body recognizes as alien, such as bacteria, viruses, and foreign substance in the blood. So many people come to ask, what are actually in these vaccines that help protect us? Like everyone knows, it prevents us from getting sick, obviously. What else is in there, you know? So there are actually small amounts of chemical additives, such as aluminum, in the forms of gels or salts, which are added as adjuvants to help the vaccine stimulate a better response. It states that it promotes earlier and more potent response, more persistent immune response to the vaccine. Egg proteins also found in the flu shots, such as the influenza flu shot, also the yellow fever vaccines, which are prepared using chicken eggs. Ordinary people who can eat eggs without, having feeling sick and stuff, they're actually safe to use it. So another chemical is formaldehyde. It is used to inactivate bacterial products for toxoid vaccines. It is also used to kill unwanted viruses and bacteria that might contaminate the vaccine during production. Before the vaccines are actually shipped out to the clinics and physician office, all the formaldehyde is removed before injecting it in your body. So what people don't know is that these vaccines actually contain small amounts of the actual flu, the virus, in order for your body to actually learn how to destroy it. So in other words, you're injecting yourself with microbes and viruses that are killed. They're actually killed viruses that are in your body. So your T and B cells can actually learn how to defend your body from it, and it kills the cells. So some of you guys might still be against getting vaccines, maybe because you guys are scared of getting shots, because I know a lot of people are scared of getting shots. Well, there are actually two types of vaccines you guys can get. There's the obvious one where you get a shot through your arm with the needle, and there's three types of those. There's the regular flu shot, which is for kids older than 6 months, and there's the high dose one, which are for people over 65. And there's the intradermal, which are people like us from the ages 18 to 64. And the second type of vaccination you guys can get is through your nasal cavity. So that's called also known as LAIV, which stands for live attendant influenza vaccine, which are made for people years 2 to 49. And it's a nasal spray, so you just get it up your nose. So I got some statistics that show getting vaccinated reduced the amount of deaths around the world. For example, everyone knows smallpox killed a lot of people. In fact, it actually killed 300 million people in the 20th century alone, according to BBC UK. But since everyone pretty much got the vaccination through vaccination programs that were forced upon the people, the disease was actually eradicated in October 26, 1977. That just shows how immense the impact of vaccination had on the world. The person who's accredited for the vaccination was Edward Jenner. Imagine if he didn't create the vaccine, many people would be dead now. So how many of you guys got the flu shot last season? Any of you guys? Okay, that's good, because CDC estimated that over a period of 30 years, between 1976 to 2006, an estimated flu-associated deaths in the United States from a low 3,000 to a high 49,000 people died related to flu symptoms. So about 160 to 165 million people got the flu shot last year, like people in here who raised their hand, and actually contained the population with the flu to 5 to 20%. So that's actually a good thing. So why should you guys get the flu shot? Well, obviously you guys don't want to get sick because everyone hates being sick. But actually, there's actually people who have high risk of developing sickness like pneumonia. If they get sick with flu, including people who have medical conditions like asthma, diabetes, and chronic lung disease. Also, pregnant women and people older than 65 are higher risk of catching pneumonia. Not only does that apply to people of the ages of 65, but also young people like kids and stuff. They're all in school, and let's just face it, their hygienes aren't as great. So now that you guys know that vaccines are a positive thing and everyone should get it, maybe you guys should all get your vaccinations. No one likes being sick, so why gamble on your health and well-being when you can just simply avoid it by getting the vaccination? So all you guys should get vaccinated.
Marcos, what did you think?
I thought it was real good. You went over how they're made and what you risk with getting the shot or not getting it. And you had statistics as well, which are things that people are looking for when they're considering something like that. I think so, at least. At first, I really didn't know what you were gonna. I mean, I knew you were gonna talk about germs and bacteria and stuff like that, but I didn't know what approach you were gonna take. And then it came out towards kind of the end of your intro that it was gonna be about vaccines. Everything was good. Maybe just rehearsing a little more. The only part that I did kind of did throw me off a bit is you said something about killing viruses, but viruses aren't considered living, so they can't be killed. That was the only part that just threw me off a bit, but overall it was good.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I think viruses are living, but I'm not
Yeah.
positive about that. I'm not speaking as an expert. I'm just telling you, that seems a little counterintuitive to me, but, we could investigate it and research it.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
don't fall under like the 4 characteristics that a living thing has to have.
All right. So there's no such thing as a dead virus versus a living virus, apparently, And so when you get injected with the dead version of the virus, it's just a lie. I don't know. All right. But I like the nice gruesome visualization you had at the beginning, everybody pulling the door open. I thought that worked pretty well, get everybody involved in the speech, and it's very clear where you're going. It's not a particularly controversial subject, but I do think that there might be some ways that you could develop the controversy a little bit more. For instance, what percentage of the population skips getting a flu vaccination each year? Are there other kinds of vaccinations that people refrain from getting even though they might benefit them in some way, especially for anything that is contagious? Some things may not be particularly contagious, and if people decide not to get a vaccine for that, that's, I guess, their business. So you don't want to get a tetanus shot, don't get a tetanus shot, because it's not like you're going to sneeze on somebody and give them tetanus. On the other hand, all the other things you talk about with the way you're actually benefiting society as a whole, and I think you do a good job connecting smallpox as an illustration of because we had mass immunizations, because everybody was required to get these kinds of things, we wiped out the smallpox virus. Apparently not. We didn't kill it because it's already dead. But we have contained it, so it's not an active disease anymore. And I'll bet there probably nobody in here except me who got a smallpox vaccination. And I got the little scar on my shoulder to prove it, from where that came from. And that's a just generational kind of thing because people didn't need it anymore. So, that's a good illustration of that particular point. I think you could do a little bit more to make us fearful about the flus. Yeah, obviously the one thing that you talk about, you talk about people who might be particularly vulnerable, people with conditions, asthma or diabetes or lung issues. Those things are important. But you might point out that flus are the things that kill most people most years. It's like people, because their bodies just give in, they have weakened immune systems, so on and so forth. That you could point out that we've had historical flus where millions of people have died worldwide as a result of not being vaccinated, that we are concerned about, for instance, the spread of a variety of flus, and every year it seems like the risk level is up pretty high. So I think you could build that need up a little bit more. But you did a pretty good job on those things, and I thought you did a nice job delivering the speech also. Thank you.